Are you ready to start walking?
Welcome to my channel. My name is Jolene. I'm 29 years old with 10 kids, and I started a brain care program. You'll find my video down below on why I started it. I'm still working on the video of how I did, but for today, we're going to be figuring out together why my 1-year-old is not walking yet. She turned 1 in the middle of November in 2022, and I've gotten my bachelor's in psychology that was focused on child and adolescent development, so I know that she should be walking by the time she's 12 months old. And through the training I did on the brain, which I do believe was with the best brain care doctors in the world, I know what's going to happen in her future if she doesn't walk by 12 months old. She was born at 37 weeks, so her original due date was in December, but once my kids get a month behind on development, that's when I do step in to make sure they are not missing anything. And during the first year of someone's life, something new in development is happening every month. Yes, I am aware that the CDC guidelines have changed the walking requirements in development from 12 months up to 18 months, but I believe it's because there are too many kids not reaching that milestone on time. So instead of diagnosing all these babies with a developmental delay, they move the requirements up to be later. Which I also believe this is going to change the next generation, because there is a perfect developmental blueprint, and if it's not followed, it will affect them later in life. Anyways, I'll try not to get carried away in this video. I could probably spend an hour talking about each thing you're going to be seeing. For today, I'll be checking my daughter's primitive reflexes. These specific ones should have been gone by the time she turned 1, and if they're still present, they can hold her back. I'll also be checking her vestibular system. For those who don't know, the vestibular system is what helps with balance. So my goal is to do an assessment today, put her plan of care together on how her therapy is going to look, and then have her walking independently within 7 days. Today is January 1st of 2023 when I'm recording this. So I'm hoping to upload a video of her walking in 7 days from now. So let's get started. The first one I'm going to be testing for is called the rooting reflex. This reflex is activated when the baby feels the mom on the side and they'll automatically turn to eat. That is a reflex. And what you see here is a positive rooting reflex. As I'm stimulating the side of her cheek, she's automatically turning to try to put whatever she feels inside of her mouth. This should have been gone by the time she was 12 months old. Now the next one I'm doing is called the palmar reflex, which I do not see as positive. As I'm stimulating the inside of her hand, what I'm watching for is her to grasp what's in her hand, which I don't see as present, so this one is gone. Now the next one I'm testing for is the spinal galant, which I don't see it positive this way, so I'm going to hold her by her ankles to see if I could see this one present in another way. So as I'm holding her by her ankles, what I'm watching for is if she automatically turns to one side, which she's not. I like what I see. Her spine is straight. If she was turning more to one side than the other, then I would know I would need to stimulate the opposite side. But I like what I see. I like that she has her propping reflex, which is when her arms are coming out trying to catch herself. But then I'm also checking for the Moreau, which is the startle reflex. I do see the startle reflex present because as I bring her closer to the floor, then she does start holding her breath. So the next one is called the ATNR, the asymmetric tonic neck reflex. This is tested in different ways depending on what age we are working with, but with little babies, then it's just the way they crawl, which hers looks just fine. Now this last one is where I am testing the vestibular system. This one is also tested in different ways depending on what age you're working with, but for little babies, what I'm trying to get her to do is look up into a corner, which I could get her to look up towards the left, but as you can see, we're having a hard time getting her to look to the right, letting me know that the right vestibular system must be off. We've tested this a few times. As you could see, she does just fine looking to the left, but she started getting overwhelmed, so we let her take a break, but we still see that it's a right vestibular problem, meaning that's something I'm going to have to work with because the vestibular is for balance, and she does need balance to be able to walk. I'm testing the vestibular system one more time before we start any therapy, because that can be the root of the problem to why she's not walking, and we still see that there's something off with the right side. She can still stand while she's hanging on to something. This doesn't mean it's not a vestibular problem, because this is more affected when she's trying to walk. So I'm leaning towards more vestibular. I did see primitive reflexes, so I'm going to be combining different therapies and customizing it to fit her and what she needs. Okay, we're finally ready to start her therapy. Hopefully some of you guys are still here. I don't know if this is boring to other people, but to me, this always fascinates me. Everything to do with the brain and helping her take her next step in development. So you're probably going to have questions on everything that you're seeing here, and I know that I could go into detail on every little thing that's going on. But for this video, then we're just doing her therapy. As we're posting more to this channel, I'm going to try to be explaining more about this laser and more about the Resmax. If I had more than one laser like I do at work, I would like to have one on the cerebellum and then also one on the frontal lobe. This is helping us open her systems. Lasering the cerebellum also helps with muscle tone. I know a lot of people don't have a laser at home, but our laser is just our secret of how we're getting results fast. I don't need the laser and I don't need the Resmax to get the results that I'm looking for. Right now we are having him spin towards her right because spinning is resetting her vestibular system. The Resmax in her left ear is stimulating the vagus nerve, which is one of the largest nerves in the body. This is calming down her nervous system, which really helps people who has high anxiety. You could see that she's starting to get tired. This is because we are calming down her nervous system with the Resmax, but then also because she did miss her nap today. This is not the laser putting her to sleep. The laser is a healing light. There is a lot of research, a lot of science behind the laser, but there was one point where I had no other tools with me to still get the results that I'm looking for. I just found that I get results faster when I could use the laser and the Resmax. So here, when I'm doing the different primitive reflexes, I could just use my hands, but this Resmax has a vibration, which is helping me get results faster. You could always use like a vibrating toothbrush or anything. You could also use a pencil, but we found that any vibration will help us get the results faster, and we are always looking for ways to get the results faster. So here I'm doing the primitive reflex exercises, which looks completely different when they're babies compared to adults. So now I'm stimulating the Babinski with the Resmax. Again, you can use a pencil or anything to stimulate the bottom of her feet, but this vibration helps us get results faster, and she needs this to feel grounded when she walks. Now I'm working on the spinal galant. I know I didn't see this one positive, but it's not going to hurt her if I include it. Lasering the bottom of her feet have nothing to do with helping her walk. We are using it to open her system so that she could accept the therapy that we're giving her. Now lasering the cerebellum to strengthen her muscle tone. Even though the laser is a healing light, I will never hold it here longer than 2 minutes. The cerebellum, I can hold it there as long as we want or need, but anywhere else, I will keep it the maximum at 2 minutes. I'm lasering the ear to stimulate the vagus nerve, but putting the laser here comes with a whole bunch of different benefits. This will also help with any earaches or infection in the ear, or if their eardrum burst or anything like that. It really is a healing light and will heal anything that's going on in there. Sorry this was a really long video. I'm not sure if anyone's gonna make it to the end, but I'm hoping in a week that I'm able to post another video of her walking independently.